El capuchón del micrófono.
So how do you know about Tiene?
We were making a project with Colabora Birmania. Colabora Birmania. It's an NGO that working here, Mark Commerce.
Working on the border?
Yeah, they have a little school and a bakery. Yeah. What is it?
¿Dónde ponen los fondos que hay?
Have you been here before?
No, in Thailand yes, but not in Mae Sot. Yeah, we will be here maybe 3-4 days more, and we have been 10 days, 12 days. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the interview. You are a person very busy, and we do not have spend a lot of time. Okay? Could you introduce yourself, your name and where you come from?
I'm Dr. Cynthia Maung. I work with Burmese displaced people along the Thailand border, including the displaced or refugees in the eastern Burma border. And I'm a medical doctor and I've been working here on the border since 1988 when I left from Burma.
How do you remember your childhood, your hometown?
I grew up in Birmania, in my state, and I have we have home there, but my parents' origin come from DRB. We grew up in Birmania, and we studied there until.
Did you finish your study in Burma or in Thailand?
When I finished my medical degree in 1985.
Does anyone in your family live now in Burma? Yeah. Do you have contact with them?
No regular contact.
In your first years of youth, did you consider yourself a rebel person?
For myself, when I left Burma, I feel that the people who we see on the border and the people who we see in the country be under the oppressive regime, the political and human rights violation. And as a health worker, we see the atrocity of civil war and impact of human rights violation on mental health and injury and also finding displaced, lack of food, and also women unable to access maternity care, safe delivery. So we feel that we have to promote the human rights. To improve access to healthcare, education, and to protect the women.
How do you remember the youth of that time? Were there many rebels like you? Like a lot of people with...
When we fled to the border, thousands of students fled to Burma because in 1988, when the Burmese military cracked down the pro-democracy movement, and thousands of students and civilians, including doctor, nurse, midwife, and lawyer, teacher, fled to the border. So when we arrived to the border, every professional group started setting up their professional association to intervene or to respond to the needs of the local people. So working as not only as a service provider, also as an activist, human rights activist, and oppose the military regime.
Could you tell us a book that will mark your life? A book like one book that marked your life. You read it in the past.
The first book I started reading from my father's library is the story of the African who being become a slave in America.
Do you remember the name?
Just Uncle Tom. That is about Uncle Tom. So we start reading that the people that at the time American they made the slave to the people, like the slave labor. And many sad story about the family and they have been oppressed. So this kind of human rights violation made people be very because they lost the dignity of the people, and then this people who need to operate, who are under the oppression, need to be opposed to the people who are.
Yeah. Why did you choose to study medicine?
Actually, my father wanted to be a doctor, but during that time in the war, he not able to go to the medical school, and then he able to attend some public health training, but he wants to be a doctor, so he should become a doctor. But his father wishes.
How did those years of repression affect your formation? How did the years of the repression in Burma affect your formation? You can study all the years, you have cuts in your formation, you have to wait years, or you did all the medicine career in one time.
For during I was studying, there is no serious event happened in Burma because in 1972 one time the student movement also cracked down, and then 1988. So, but during that period, we can able to study moving, but we witnessed many suffering of the people, especially not only in the rural, also even in the city, the poverty and also the poverty is the widespread in so SIS and access to healthcare, education, and food for the children, women, and we see that many of our young fellow or our colleagues, they have to leave school earlier before they finish, and you see that they working in different places. This is not well protected. And research in the hospital also researching the resources are very scarce, and also the health worker have to work very hard because not enough doctor nurses, and then all the medicine supply is the resources is very scarce. So, and then many women, children, when they come to the hospital, it's very late, and there has been no public health functioning public health system for the primary, secondary, tertiary. So we see that the failure of the health system. so made the women children very vulnerable. So we become one of the highest in the health forest health effort. And for the health workers, every day we witness the suffering of the children and women in the hospital or in the community. So it made us to get involved with the change, the whole political, the mental and political system, changing the political system. Also we joined with other colleagues in 1988. Become very obvious that people want to change, fight for freedom, democracy, human rights.
What do you remember of those days of 1988? The days of the people go to the streets and fight for democracy.
I was not in the city. I was in one of the rural area, but we saw in the television, and the military are very good. Even one of the highest general saying that the gun can shoot anytime. So we getting many people upset because it is the highest level. And then when people go to the street or do that, we just say that the gun can shoot you anytime. So people are very upset, and we feel that there will be the military were going to take over the power again. So people said there is no safe area, because usually when the military take over the power and they crack down the pro-democracy movement, and then many people being arrested and in jail or killing. So this will happen again, because it was happened already in 1962 and 72, so people expect this will be happen again. So since that time, any student or civilian fled to the border. I myself also, we feel that we should continue the struggle, but at that time, no more safe for the people who are actively participate or leading the protests. So we came to I fled to the border.
At the age 29, you are fleeing to Burma. What was the main reason? What was the most important reason on outside Burma? Which one the most important reason is Burma? Your cover safety?
Actually, on the way when we came to the border, on the way we see many people, not only the people in the city, people on the border or in the ethnic area. They suffer more. They've been suffering under the civil war for many years. So these people are very afraid of the army, and then people living, like especially the ethnic people who are under the civil war many years. Very poor, and access to health, education, very poor, because also they are always under the oppression and human rights violation, and so we feel that we need to continue to fight for the freedom and peace, because without equal opportunity for ethnic people or the participation of the civil society, the country will not achieve peace. If we want peace, we need the civil society or student or ethnic people need to participate in all the political decision or system.
With who you go outside Burma? With which persons you go outside Burma?
On the way,
You live alone?
because at that time the student, the schooling shut down, the schooling closed. all the university, the government closed down all the university. So some university students from this village, they came back to their village, and there are some high school students also. So we become a team, and then we came to the border together.
You keep a communication with them now?
Some of them, after like people arriving to the border after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, these people start feeling, the young people start feeling missing home, and the living situation is very poor, and not enough food and medicine, and malaria widespread. And then you can hear, sometimes you can hear about the war going on. So some people depressed, and then they decide to go back home. And some of them, the parents, come and take them home. So, like some of our group, so we went back to.
Some of those people who live in Burma, it's now living in Burma, or all of those are outside Burma?
Some of them, they go back home to their original base, and some of them like resettle, because after 2 years, 3 years, they can apply they become under the UNHCR. They become refugees, and many of them resettle to third countries like America, Canada, Australia, and even some of them in Europe. And some of them, they're not going back home, but they continue working here as lawyer, teacher, health worker, because after they come in here, we start doing the training for health worker and the lawyer also. They start organize lawyer association, teacher. So some of the young people also become the politicians, activists who continue working on the border, or some of them they become the media and like the civil society organization. And some of them also they succeed here.
Here in Mae Sot, in Thailand, or?
Spreading everywhere, no? Some they settle, go back home, stay working on the border here. And
Working
on the border with the civil society group. Because some of them, they form the civil society organization, and now they return to Burma, working with the civil society organization like women organization or human rights organization, or they become the law, like a lawyer association. When they go back, they continue working.
How did you get out of the country?
We work in the jungle, because the village where we stay and here, it's like a dangerous area at that time, because it is like in Burma, black zone. Black zone means the legal emergency control area. So if you see the people, you can shoot and fight them. So it's become black zone. So it is very dangerous for us to travel, especially if you come with a group, not by individual, like 10 people, 50 people, more difficult. But at that time, many villagers, they used to grow up in this war situation, and they also sympathize the students who fled to the border. So with the help of the villagers, so we can see many students, young people also, they arrive to the border very safely because the group of villagers help. Okay, so
what do you remember of the journey? what do you remember of that journey through the jungle? Since
For
was very hard.
us, the first 2-3 days, it is very close to the army control area. So Burmese army control area. So we have to travel at night time. Daytime is we have to stay or quietly. But the local villagers, they send us safely from one village to another village until we arrive at the border safe place.
Were you hiding in the tent? What did you feel when you crossed the border with Thailand? What was your first feeling?
Actually, even we arrived to Thailand, we not stay in Thailand as because most of the students are living on the border. The Thailand or at the time only the place where we can moving crossing back and forth to get some supply or medicine, or sometimes we coordinate the patient referral because many students or civilians being sick, but we can only provide very basic medical services, and then shortage of medicine, food supply. So with the help from the local Thai community or current community on the border, we able to connect to some of the relief agency or some of the charity group we want to support. So we start a connection with through the Thailand, we get connection with the outside, like international or in Thailand. So gradually, we after 6 months, 8 months, we feel that we need to have a small like a center to coordinate for this work. So that become a clinic. Initially, it's not clinic, we're not setting up as a clinic, as a small house to coordinate relief and also to refer patients, refer coordination. But gradually, we see that there are many other displaced people. They need to access the lack of access to healthcare in both Thailand and Burma. So gradually, we start setting up a small clinic, and every year we see more displacement and the war continue going on. So we feel that we need to have a strong health infrastructure to train the local health worker or to continue extend the healthcare services for the internally displaced people, especially when the jungle there is no access to Thai or Burmese government system. So we need a strong community network of community health services. And at the same time in Thailand, we see there's more migration. Every year migrate more and more migrant workers, but they are undocumented migrant workers. They just crossing the border. So they don't have insurance or they don't have legal documents. So access to healthcare is very poor. So gradually we see that many women children they deliver at home and children not vaccinated, no career registration. So we feel that we need to have a strong system to protect women and children. So we set up a maternal title. So through this maternal title program, women can deliver babies safely and children can start access some legal documents. Not legal document, we can provide like the birth record, but until 2008, it's not being recognized by the Thai government. So right now, the Thailand government looking at the whole like retrospective the record, all the records at medical clinic, and so we have to make sure that the children, displaced children, need to get the citizenship in the country in Burma one day. So until now, the Thailand government also trying very hard the situation has changed in Burma, but the children who were born in Thailand over the past 20, 30 years say this document not being recognized by the government yet, so they a lot of things to do, but we made the mother children to be safer with the documents and with the healthcare and access to education. They can be safer and they can be strong. They can build strong evidence that people themselves also the civil society to continue fight for demand for their human rights. And then can do the not only as a peaceful person to rebuild the community, we need
from here to
more support from the international community.
how were the first month of your adaptation to Thailand? How were your first month here in Thailand? To adaptation, new country, new language.
Actually,
was hard for you?
Actually, in Mae Tao or on the border, people speak 2-3 languages because of the border. You see, like many Korean are become Thai because many Korean and Thai Thailand close very just the border.
Yeah, you feel like
People
you're
are
home.
moving, people moving back and forth, and they have family both sides. The family in Thailand, the Thai family in Burma side. So they used to cross very easily because the Thailand Burma border in this province almost 5,500 kilometers.
So
People
you
just moving back and forth, and both sides they have their friends. So for us as a Korean people, not very difficult because many people speak Korean, but Thailand public health or administration system, we have to get help from the people who can speak the language. For us, for the social network, it is easy. But for the public administration, we need interpreter, translator, or many Korean people who have been here for a long time or they study in Thailand, so they have become Thai citizens, so they can help.
it's more easy. Yes. And how does the project begin of the Mae Tao Clinic? How do you start the Mae Tao Clinic?
The clinic not start as a clinic, no? As I explained you earlier. We start looking after the patient or in Burma side, and then we start traveling along the border to coordinate some relief. At that time, we start identify that patients need to refer to Thai hospital because the Thai hospital is very close and then safer. If they go to Burma side, sometimes identity issues, heart issue, or sometimes it's coming from the rebel or conflict zone is more suspicious. So people afraid to go to Burma side. And then like geographic area, very sometimes in the mountain isolated or going to Burma hospital is more difficult.
Yeah.
And so here already they have their network, so we start assisting them to refer to Thai hospital because at that time the Korean National Union who in the Korean National Union, they are the ethnic organization, like political organization with so they fighting against the central government for many years. So they already have the system for patient referral or relief, so they support us to set up a small center for patient referral or getting access to the other services.
How do you remember the first small house in the Mae Tao Clinic? It's very poor. You have
Actually, it is not house, just They are actually not building as a house at that time because no house registration. Because there is a land owned by the local parent leader, but with a small wood and he's done making a building, but actually not as a house. There's no house registration, but they offer us to work there. So we stay there for many years until we move here.
What did you feel when you were starting the first passion of the clinic? The first passion? Do you remember him?
I feel that I don't know all of the first patient, but I don't remember the first patient because sometimes they come from the camp 4 or 5 people at the same time. But during that time, most like the first 2-3 years, our patient mainly are malaria, war casualty, and mental health problem because some of them they never away from home and they are shortage of food and missing home and also they witness some war. So we see young people suffering from injury, malaria, mental health. So these are the main illness discussing. But at that time, malaria is very serious. And the first 2-3 years, many young students or civilians die with malaria because of like a severe, at that time, severe malaria, not enough medical supply, no diagnostic tools, so lack of supply. So many people killed in the jungle by malaria and some killed by war casualty among the students who fled to the border.
Did you suffer the discrimination of Barrow type people, or type people were glad the Burma people come to Thailand? Did you have any problems with type people?
People come here as like undocumented, unskilled labor, and don't speak the language, so they also feel oppressed. But the Thai people, different groups, no? The local Thai people, they stay on the border for many years, so they know the war going on in Burma. So they sympathize. But the business people look at the same way. But the local village people, because we can stay in Thailand because apart from the local community. All along the border, the local Thai people, they know what is going on in Burma. Even their family friends are in Burma, so they understand the situation and they support. But now, gradually, more and more business people come and stay in the south because it's become a business zone or factory. So the business people not really. So they see as like a cheap labor and don't speak the language, cheap labor, undocumented, so they violate the rights of the people, and so it is very hard time for many young migrant people.
And the authorities and the government?
If you don't have the legal documents, you can be arrested anytime, but I think at that time also, like, it is widespread, like corruption. You can pay the money or you can even like for people, they were arrested and deported and they can come back within 2 hours crossing the border because the border is very
easy.
Yeah. So just when sometimes they lost all their money they earned in for 1 month, but no choice, they come back again.
What do you feel when you see yourself 30 years later in the same situation in a country dominated with a military junta, now in Thailand? How do you feel? Do you feel frustration?
Actually, it is very long journey for for us, we learn a lot about what is the human rights. Because in Burma, while we were in Burma, I'm a student, I study medicine. But now we learn more about public health, and we learn about how the international community works. We also get some connections apart from the Thailand, because the Thailand university or Thai community is a chance to make them know about the Burma situation. Because until you may see that until like 2012, Burma closed. So if they want to know about refugees or migrants or internal displaced people, you cannot go to Bangkok. You cannot learn from through the Mae Sot. Mae Sot has become an area for people to learn about what is going on inside. Because many people displaced or migrant come here and they can share the story. And so this Mae Sot has become like an opportunity for sharing information and learning from each other, and also it is a place for protection and promotion for the migrant refugee rights. So this good opportunity for young people to create an environment where they can be safe and they can learn to become a strong network. In 2012, the situation changed in Burma because we have the election and the civil government and the hope for people, many people hope. But the frustration thing is the military state using the weapons, like especially women's rights is seriously violated, like rape is we hear from wherever the war happened. Like in the current state, in say some area there is still fighting, and in the Rohingya area fighting the human rights violation. But the serious thing is rape is the military state using rape as a weapon. It is very frustrating because the peace process going on, so there is some hope. But if you heard about the military rape and what's going on, that they never been like in Burma. If military commits some crime, they have to be under the military, not from the
civil law.
So this is the big thing. So make people everywhere in Burma start learning more about even like a child. So people, what become people attitude about rape? Because even children being raped now, we can get more and more reports in Burma now. Rape is happening in many areas, not by in the city, not by the military, but even the father or leaders. Also, what does this mean about people mind? So we feel that this become a normal situation of people. How do the people feel about this? Also, it is very frustrating for women, especially when the military doing the rape in the ethnic area or displaced people or fighting, because you can fight each other if you not agree or gun, but it's still going on. Because we hear the story in the Rohingya, there are some reports coming out from Rohingya or 3 years ago in Tiene state, the same 2 teachers being raped and killed. So this is still going on in Burma. So the same military is very usually make people displaced and then rape, and then people lost their identity. So all these are make us very feel that not really training.
How has this project affected your personal life? Have you suffered a lot of compatibility the professional and family life? What was hard for you? Because we know you spend a lot of time, a lot of force. Which how did it affect your personal life, your passion, your work?
Actually, most of our staff here also, we are living like one part is our life, one part is professional life, one part is because if you feel that you are away from your hometown, or you are away from the family, you become another family group. You have to be family because sometimes you don't feel secure, or sometimes you need to feel that you belong to each other. So sometimes very connected each other. So we feel that all of our staff also the same way. Sometimes it's very challenging, the family, or because we are like another community.
You're a big family here.
Yeah, big family, and sometimes it is difficult because coming from different background, different culture, even sometimes the current coming from jungle, or current coming from, so it is rebuilding the sense of the ownership or community. It is very important. So that's why whenever like our family or the neighbor, all the children are like our children. We have to take care of each other. Sometimes children need help, or sometimes we feel that sometimes difficult for different culture, different. But we have to feel sure that we all belong to each other. At the same time, in the family, the children who grow up in that area, sometimes very difficult for them. Sometimes they go to community. If they go to the Thai school, they will become like Thai culture, Thai community. But here is also another community. But the elder, like ourselves, we never feel that we become Thai. But some of the children who grow up, they become Thai. They speak Thai and the language, and so sometimes in the family it is also difficult. Not only with the even in the one family, like different culture. If you grow up, the children never been together, and they speak Korean language, but they don't know how the learn this one. So, but the adults, they never integrate into the Thai society. They speak some Thai, but they feel that they are family. So I think many challenges when we stay here. But one good thing is in Mae Sot, you can learn both Thai and Burmese culture. That's why it is very important that like music or football or sports, music, arts are very important for the young people for making belong to each other.
Do you consider yourself a strong woman? Do you consider yourself a strong woman? Are you a strong woman? Do you feel?
I don't feel I'm stronger than many other women, because we see many young women, they speak out in front of the audience, break issue, or they speak out about different like atrocity or oppression by both whoever the military, because they are children, sometimes they are children, they are young people, their younger sister, brothers being affected. But for me or for us, actually we not directly like affected by the like violence, but we witness and we fight for them. But many young women, young people, their husband or their wife or their children being affected already, but they speak up. And we met some women, they are the village elder, because during the war, the military oppressed and like torture. They see the village leader as a man, so women have to become village leader. So they have to negotiate, they have to compromise, they have to work among the 2-3 military. So they have to be very strong. So we met many other women who are very strong to protect their community. So we feel that we encourage each other. We know who is the, but different we have different ability or creativity. Each woman have to create to protect their family or their community, and also just we need to build a strong network.
When did you start receiving international support? From which country the funds come? In which year?
Actually, the first, when we start right to the border, the first support we get is from the Thai. You see, the Thai local church group is giving us support. And then during that time on the border, in the refugee camp, MSF, they already exist here. So MSF also start provide us some medical supply. MSF France. And because a French organization been here for many years.
What's the name?
MSF, Medicines Sans Frontières. You know Medicines Sans Frontières, the MSF?
No.
The French organization is still very active working inside the so they working in the refugee camp many years. So Medicines Sans Frontières and France, they are the first group, and then later on one consortium group called, at that time we called Thai Burma Border Consortium Group. So this consortium group is supported by many countries. They become like a food and shelter and relief agency working for displaced people on the border. So the TBC is the consortium group that supported by many governments. For the direct support from the government, we received support from, I think it's in 1994, from Canadian government. And later on the USA we access funding from USA in, I think, like 1998, 2000. USA funding, and later on the Norwegian, Australia, but now most of the government funding, now they open their, before that they don't open the office, administration office, now they already have some bilateral agreement, and after 2012, many government agency, they moved to Myanmar. They moved to Myanmar, Burma. So now there was less support to the border area or cross-border assistance. Before that, the support to the refugee in Thailand or migrant or international displaced people come through the Thailand. But now less and less cross-border or border support. Most of the support go through the bilateral agreement with the government. But the Canadian is still one of our partners. But the USA support, we can access funding for the program inside and not for the program in Highlands. Highlands have not met on it, but the program, the services or the program inside Grand State or ethnic area, we can access support from the USA.
What was the volume of patients who came to the clinic in the first years and this evolution over time?
The first 3-4 years mostly are the Burmese students or civilians who fled to the border, and some are the local ethnic people around here. But in 1995, the migration and the economic growth in Thailand and economic deterioration in Burma made more people come to Thailand as a migrant workers. So in 1995, we start seeing more people coming from other states, not from the current, from the border. The other states like Yangon or Krabi, they come. So we start seeing more women children because most of the people who come to the border are young women, men, like after they could not continue their education after 15 years, 14 years, they drop out school, so start coming to Thailand as a migrant workers in the factory, like garment factory or working in the construction site, working in the agriculture land. So since that time, we see more women, children. So what happened is after many years, we still see young people still come because education and job opportunity is very limited for the most majority of the people. Only people in the city.
In the big cities,
city, like all the development projects going to Burma, it support the government and most of the support go to the city. Not much reach to the local, and then also not much improved in the economic situation yet. The worry is many people also we see the displacement because of the war. Right now we see the displacement because of the land confiscation and many of them by the army, the company owned by the army. Like every township now, every country, we have a big project for gold mining or so people start displaced or they lost their land. And then more deserts than before, floods. So people continue displaced. Many of them are young people. So this is a big concern for us also. When they displace, they come many villages you can see that mostly are elder and children and the young people come to Thailand, the parents come and work in Thailand. So job opportunity for the local villagers is very difficult, and especially farmers.
Especially for the women, I think.
Yeah, also the farmers, women. The farmers especially also many people become displaced here, so the production or the price or not controlled by them. So this all controlled by the big company. So the food security or food sovereignty for them is difficult. So this become a big worry for the country as well. All the big economy or macro is owned by the Philippine community. And many Thai community involved, Japan community involved, economic zone, so all these things. Until now, not see the benefit, so much benefit for the people.
When you create a new clinic, this new clinic, what is the reason?
Until like 2000, we feel that maybe we will go back to the country. But gradually we start feeling that to the political change or economic change, it will take time. We start seeing more and more people coming and work, and then we see this is the border is very long, and this will become the ASEAN economic zone. So we strongly feel that, especially on the border, the government, both sides of the government, seen as an economic or national security issue, not looking at the human rights protection issue. For us, we very concerned that even like gradually the border getting more and more controlled by both army, the Thailand army, Burmese army, but the local people gradually they start losing their dignity, and so we feel that there are also many people, young people, they come to Thailand for work because of that become the special economic zone, the job opportunity and human rights violation is ongoing. So we need to have a strong civil society organization to promote human rights and to protect and to continue provide service. And then this also to build the link between Thailand and Burma, because sometimes the people who never been to Thailand or the people who grew up in Thailand, this when you crossing back and forth and who are you, like where is your country, or and what is your opportunity. So we need the young people to feel that they belong to this community, one community, like the borderland is one of the border is one of the area they can study, they can do exchange, and they can link to their country. If the civil society not exist, they will, because individually it is very challenging for them. So that's why we try to build a stronger civil society network for both Thailand and Burma. So they need to empower, they need to feel that in some environment they can create or they can develop their, and then they can also engage with the protection of the human rights. So that's why the clinic continue to provide service, but at the same time the clinic will become continued like learning center, training center for the health workers, because the ethnic health worker in their area, they are the key on the role, the key role playing for providing services. So we train the health worker, we continue to provide service, at the same time we can make them to link to both countries. So I think we feel very strong that the education for the young people is very important to understand about the culture for two countries, to build a relationship, not only the relationship by the army to army, people relationship is very important. So through the education system and through the social network, we can build the relationship, because the army to army or business to business very strong, and then actually they don't look at much about the human rights protection. So that's why we see that we strongly feel that we need to be present and need to continue to advocate for that.
What are you doing in the old clinic? What? Except every 20 minutes. Sorry. Do you think that Russia, when it came to Kennedy Clinic, do you think that you Russia, when it came to changing the new clinic, you want to read? Because my English is not very good.
Oh, you're right.
Excuse me for my accent.
So to move the clinic here, when we decide to move here, one big thing is it's very challenging to find the location of the clinic, because the price of the land is very getting higher and higher. So we have to find a place where we can afford to pay. But if you find the land and the space enough for your operation, you need like big the size of land. The challenge is if you find the cheap price, you have to find a place where it is a little more isolated. So, but finally we decided, because we don't know all the city plan, but we met with one. We talked to one of the Thai people who understand very well about the local politics and local administration. Or so he suggests that it's okay for flying. Gradually, this will be the connection, the road. Because when we start buying this land, no road around here. There's highway, no highway, or no road. Just this is the land. We are the first building. We start building the building here the first. I know other people build this building yet. So we have to connect all the water, electricity, but it costs. It also costs, but we cannot afford to buy other things. So since that time we start looking at because the old clinic land also, this is not, we not own the land, and then the lease getting the price of the lease, land lease is getting higher and higher, and then it's become like a flooded area. So we feel that we can no longer stay there. So we start doing fundraising, and gradually we're able to raise funds. So the first group that support us is from Netherlands organization, the television group. They start support some building, and gradually we get more and more getting more support for the building. But for the patient transportation, it is a little, compared to the old side, it is difficult, more difficult than the old clinic side. But the old clinic side also very small site, very small area, and even we don't have the area for parking, or you cannot make better building because of we not own the land, and the land price is getting higher. So we have to choose this land because it's cheaper land, and then we see that gradually the road is more easier. So because we have to spend more money for the transport, which is very sad. Yeah.
How has the last year been? Have been a hard year, 2017. How is the year? Because we know it was a difficult year, the past year. You have the cuts in the budget.
Every year we have always the challenging things. And 2000, not only 2007, also 2014 and 2005, and like we have always some challenge because our funding mostly coming from the more donor dependent. And then we rely a lot in the past, a lot from the government donor. Now the government, after political change, many government donor, they move to donor. So we have to always looking at the funding source, diversify the funding source from ASEAN country or not only the government, some like a business people who want to donate the building or land or, and also we have to look in an opportunity for our patient to improve access to the insurance, health insurance, so that we can access to other services. But the challenge also is for the patient who coming from inside, because almost 50% of our patients are cross-border. They come from Burma. They are not Thailand. They're not living or working in Thailand, but they are from inside Burma. But they still come to crossing the border for healthcare access.
But
After they get treatment, they go back to Burma. Like they come for eye surgery, they come and deliver a baby, or they come with a baby with malnutrition, pneumonia. So our strategy is also try to improve services inside. So we have to work with the different partner organizations to train. That's why we train more health workers to provide service in their own community, the basic level services like they can deliver baby safely at their village, or they can get some basic healthcare. But we can only help them. We can provide them for the basic level, but for the secondary, tertiary level, they still have to come to us. So we have to look at different options for the referral system, working with Burmese government hospital or Thai hospital, or have to look at different strategy for, yeah, which is difficult because like for TB, we have to refer one NGO for emergency obstetric where we should refer. So case by case, we have to look at where we should refer, and we always have to estimate what is the cost for this referral, how is the costing for each illness or each hospital. So when we looking at the referral, they come from different background of different diseases. So we have to look at different strategies, how to reduce the caseload, or how to improve access to other services. Reduce the caseload means if they can access to other services, but we always have to be aware that we don't want to make them unaffordable. They have to be affordable quality service. Whenever we see about the referral, we have to think about the quality and affordability. So accessibility is like people try to access in their community, but by the second level, tertiary level, affordability, quality, always have to look at. Sometimes if you refer one patient to another hospital, the cost may be lower, but the waiting time may be longer, and then they are not always ready for the services. So it may affect the patient life or quality. Also, we have to be very careful about when we decide whether we will refer or not. So different challenge we will see that. But at the same time, some of the costs for the patient here, like for example, the cost for the non-emergency surgery. So we start looking at how much patient can contribute, like 30%, 25%. So it depends on their. We know that the daily wages for here is very minimum, 300 baht or 200 baht a day, or so affordable. Which we have to be very careful about, because if you have insurance, easier for getting the services, but many people here doesn't have insurance. Or bigger document, especially for women children, because when to buy the insurance and to get the work permit, it is very high cost for the migrant workers. It costs about 4,000, 5,000 a year. So you cannot afford to pay for the whole family, only for the father or working. But if you're pregnant or your children also, the employer doesn't want to pay the insurance. So women children still need a lot care from us. So that's why we keep doing that. But at the same time, we have to look at different options for referral or access insurance or getting other source of funding not from the government. So it's struggling, but at the same time, we try to improve the services through our partner organization, to access services inside them. And need to continue advocate for the getting support for the clinic because it's very essential. We feel that because many women still need space for safe delivery, to access to the birth registration, vaccination, and medical service is very minimal or basic human rights. So,
You receive money of different parts. Who decide the final target?
final
Target.
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 No, who decide we want to make this?
We have every 2 years we have like a strategic meeting. Some program we review that we can hand over to our partner, or some program we need to develop new program because of to respond to the needs. Sometimes we don't need this service no more because the service is already available a lot by other organizations. So we need to prioritize the services. So each deputy director, like we have health director, we have education director. So based on the assessment, or we have to prioritize our services.
That's in the budget in the last year at the operation of the clinic.
We develop a system for strengthening referral system impact. And we have to reduce or we have to cut some of our staff salary. Like maybe about 20% of the staff salary reduced. And some staff decide to move to other organization or to go back home in the home village, or so and gradually we see that some services we need to reduce the services because it is not like a critical or priority area. We have to start looking at each program.
What do you think these cuts are in the clinic budget? Why?
And your budget?
Yeah.
And your operation, we have, can we say like we have health program, we have education, child protection, we have training program, and we also have a program for cross-border because we also support some primary healthcare services across the border. So the actual annual operation cost for the whole clinic is about 100 million baht. It's about $3.5 million. But for the health, we have to, like child protection, education is one part. So about 2 million is for the health program. The rest are child protection, education, or training program, or cross-border program. Or just the extra running cost here is about 2 million.
Does the reduction in the salary imposed by the cuts have been accepted by all the people in your team? Yeah. The reduction in the salary have been accepted by all the people in your team?
We look, you see, like we have like the pay banding system for the whole credit structure based on their scale level of scale responsibility. And then whenever we start looking at the budget in the end of the year or November, or we have to start to project it. So at that time, with our advisor and our finance team, we have to decide that which area we need to cut or which area is like, for example, before we provide meal for patient attendance. Now we cannot provide meal for patient attendance. We have to cut. And then we can no longer support for the non-emergency referral. Let's say we have to cut the budget for non-emergency case. Only for emergency obstetric we can refer, but non-emergency we cannot refer, or we cannot afford the cost. And we have to look in at like the SU enrollment. Some children, we start collect some SU enrollment fee. So we have to look at how many children can actually pay or cannot pay, or so we have to look in at how we continue doing for this project. So also we have to work with the partner because our program is not only the right learning course from mental training. We work with partner organizations. Some of the funny is we have to supplement to our partner. So we also encourage our partner to help them to get funding access from other sources. So we have to look at different strategies, but at the same time, the cost, you see, like the cost for the HR is like in the healthcare setting, the HR is one of the highest costs for us. So we have to decide that, and then if we have to tell them advance. We have to cut for 3 months or 6 months. So if they want to, if they want to continue work, or if they want to move their job or change the organization, other organization, then it's also we agree that like whoever want to leave or work in the have to give at least 1 month advance.
You have in-laws in your staff?
Yeah, different reason. No? Some of them like resettlement because resettlement is still going on. So some of them leave because resettlement. Some of them they want to go back to their village. The village is getting a little bit like stable, so they want to go back and work in their village as a health worker, or want to go back and take care of their family, or because some of them they away from the family for 10 years, 15 years. So finally they feel that we need to go back and take care of our family. So some of them going back take care of family or their livelihood finally because they have their land, so they try to live their life again because especially if they have big responsibility for family. And some of them they find another job inside Burma because their family are inside. So if they find a better job in like a more relevant or appropriate to them because close to their family or more stable, or they go back home. So, but some of them we have different level. Or some of them are like they are cleaner, or some of them like cook. They usually these people are like a manual, mostly a manual labor. So they also see that there are some job opportunity around here because it is high better job opportunity for them to get better salary. So we have to look at different way, but at the same time we have to look at the children who continue to stay here, who decide to continue working here, and we have to encourage them to because we don't want if they reduce the salary, sometimes the children can affect the children family. So we have to look at very carefully that it can affect the family food we have to provide some social, like extra food for the family or education fee for the children, or so we don't want the poor or like we don't want the people who are in the lower salary kind of bad and all. So we have to be careful about the minimum wages for even we reduce the 20% on the lowest level. We don't want to reduce less than 4,000 baht. So 4,000 baht is the minimum. And then if we have children, if we have children or single income, we provide food ration, and we try to find a way for if we have to the children go to school, we have to get some scholarship, or so we have to find different options. As I mentioned earlier, even the salary standing reduced, we are looking at the whole as a family. So the salary is lower than 4,000. What will happen? The children will drop out school, or maybe the food not enough. So we have to provide extra support for the people who have very low salary also.
How many people are currently offered treatment? How many people it's in the Mae Tao clinic now?
For how
in a year?
Patient?
Yeah, patient.
Patient, we have now 160 beds. The annual caseload and annual consultation is 100,000, and admission is about 10,000. And we deliver about 2,500 babies a year.
Which are the most vulnerable group of people?
The vulnerable, the pregnant women, and teenage women, teenage children not come to us, but we have to do community outreach program for giving like adolescent reproductive health or like gender-based violence information. But we have to do outreach because usually adolescent or unmarried women not come. Usually not utilize this like a clinical service. We have to do more outreach program. So, but for the pregnant women, it's like a baby mother, we have the social risks and health risks and all the problem they can face with the social risks need. If they don't have husband around, family around, it's difficult, very challenging for them. And even for coming to here nighttime or security things, sometimes crossing the border with a pregnant woman, crossing the border, so difficult. Sometimes if they don't have legal documents, you cannot cross the border on the bridge. You have to go under the bridge or so for the pregnant women, that's why we try to focus on.
The new clinic requires a greater economic effort. Do you think it will be sustained over time?
The clinic operation.
The clinic operation. Do you think that now you need more money because you have more buildings, more medical assistance? Do you think in the time will be okay?
We strongly feel that for the clinical services, treatment, it is very expensive endeavor. But if people cannot afford that, they will die. So we have to be looking at the opportunity how to improve the service in Burma. Meaning we have to train more health workers to do the clinical service. We just don't want to say we close down the clinic because of no money, but we know that if we close down the clinic, women will deliver at home and then they will die. or children not get vaccination. So we have to look in at who are our partner and where they can go other options. So we have to look in there very carefully. But at the same time, we try to reduce the clinical cases. It is more the clinical cases because actually the clinic is not registered. And all the health workers, we are not the licensing to treat patients in Thailand. So gradually our service can be more preventive health promotion, but the maternal health is the strong area we need to work on because until now in Burma we see that many women deliver at home. It's not safe.
No.
That's why we want to be able to access the skill for the tenants. We have to make people have a safe delivery or secure place. So we still have to make a strong advocacy and we have to make a quality services. At the same time, reduce the number of the services and then looking at the other way of funding source of income. But we have to review the whole structure. We are running effectively, efficiently, because sometimes the number of the staff and the workload and
it's on the same time.
At the same time. Because sometimes the workload, some department we need 10 staff, but they only have 8, and some department they need 5, but they have 7. But the different level of we have to when we train our health workers. We are not doctor nurses, so we have to focus on their own area. So when it is happened, we have to shift the staff from one department, so we have to do orientation, capacity building, and review the whole organization structure, how we can run efficiently. So this is why we do the funding issue. We also have to look at the efficiency, effectiveness, but how to sustain the program is also not only the sustainability, it's also financially, also the technical and also other, because a community support network, because we strongly feel that the community support network need to be strong. As I mentioned earlier, now more and more military, both country, military and business are very powerful. So we have to be very strong network with the community. So we need to keep going on become the learning center and shelter and access to service for the vulnerable population. Doing advocacy, but at the same time we have to look at our service, how to sustain this for the future. And not only the government funding, we have to look at another model, but it's very new for us sometimes. People thinking about some business model, but how we do the business model is the refugees just place how we do because we cannot touch.
What are your perspectives for this year, 2018?
2018, we start feeling that, as I mentioned, more and more control on the border by the kind of they always say about national security. But for us, we also have to make sure that what are the risks of us, the risks we running efficiently. We are not running the clinic as a bigger hospital, like a licensing hospital. But the Thai public health and the hospital support us. How are you? They also question us, how are you going to run? Because they are facing the same challenge. Since the many NGOs left Thailand, in the past, if patients need to refer to Thai hospital, the NGO try to support. Not many NGO left. So
Why?
the Thai go to Burma, they leave the border. So in the Thai hospital now, on this border, there are 5 Thai hospital, township hospital. So all the township hospital, also almost 30% of the patients are Burmese, and also cross-border patients. So they very much concerned about the issue about the healthcare also. They want to, they see that there is a huge health needs inside Burma because for the Burmese population on both sides of the border. Because in Thai community, they have their own health insurance system and they cover everybody, but for the migrant workers, almost 300,000 migrants in this province, and also inside Burma side also almost another 300, 500,000. So how this population can access services. They also concern that sometimes it is challenging for the Thai public health as well. So even we are not registered organization, they also know that the community hospital or the community clinic or NGO clinic like need to be established. Like in the refugee camp, the NGO running the clinic but not registered. So during that, like a refugee or my refugees or stateless, this population who will take care. So the community itself is the most appropriate health services we can provide because the language and trust building and the network, we have a very strong network, so they support us. But we have to make sure that we have good relationship and we are working on the like the same level of standard of care, and then looking at the other risks like whatever the hospital setup, we need to have a good system for occupational health, safety. So all the risks we have to look at carefully because for us it is very big, become more and more big rigid because when we move here compared to the old clinic is very how to call nobody aware, very low profile, but here is more high profile. So all the risks we have to look at, and then banking issue, environment issue, and human resource, all the legal issue we have to look in at the risks, but at the same time, I think providing opportunity for young people to get education, providing good quality service is the priority for us, but at the same time, we have to think at the risk.
At what educational level are projects being carried out?
Education?
Yeah, projects here in the community. They often education.
We have.
I mean, sexuality education.
For education, we have one is the children education. We run a school for 800 students, starting from kindergarten to grade 12. So these children, they speak bilingual. We encourage them like bilingual education because if you grow up on the border, you have to speak 2 languages minimum. But they speak Korean, Burmese, English, Thai, so good for them because better job opportunity, and at the same time we find the opportunity for some young people to get scholarship for nursing or higher education opportunities. So one is the education for the young or children. But for education for adult, it's like we train midwife, we train public health, we train nursing. So all the staff here are trained here at the clinic, or because we also train many health workers who can go back to Burma and work in their village.
Do you consider a transfer maybe of the future in Burma, the clinic? Do you consider the transfer to Burma?
Actually, we are like the center for training learning center, but the local ethnic people or the local community itself, they already start setting up the primary healthcare center in their own community. So we have more than 200 health centers in the eastern Burma border. So each center provide like access for 2,000, 3,000 population. So we are not going to run the program like that. We train people and they go back and they develop their health program and health system.
Yeah, so you are now in work. You have.
Yeah. We provide service for the people coming to us, but at the same time we try to improve access to service in Burma, especially empowering their own ethnic community to provide services for their own people. Because of the government also try to expand or improve services, but most of the nurse or doctor coming will stay only for 2 years or 6 months or they left because the border situation is very tough and sometimes we don't speak the language, so we need another community health worker or community midwife to support the system.
You can answer. If you don't want, you cannot answer. Okay. What is your opinion about the current Burmese government now?
Burmese government now clearly now the military they cannot because under 2008 constitution the military is taking over all the power, but in the I think in the politically you can see that we have civilian government. But there is more opportunity for civilian people than before. Before that there is no civil society.
But do you think it's a real change? Or not all?
But I don't believe the military not change their time, but the NLD try very hard. The NLD try very hard to change the system, but under the 2008 constitution, that means all the law and administration is under tightly controlled by the army. But there are some opportunity for the civil society. But under 2008 constitution, they also learn they're not very free because sometimes the whites, if something happened with the army, nobody scared to talk about it. They can talk about the like
all the things. Yeah.
the other thing, but
Not this time.
the military. So they say the military is not shady, but over the past like since 2010 say they get a lot of support from international community. Like many international community go and do investment. They get a lot of support. But we don't feel that they're getting the poor and rich. The gap is wider than before. Because the military become more powerful. They get more money than before. All the investment, they get more money than before. And they become more powerful. But the poor people get more and more poor. So for us, it is very sad that we can see that in the past we have poor people, middle class, and right now.
For people.
Yeah, and the rich are more people close to the army. So for us, like also people until now, like people could not say what army commits crime or rape or so it is still happening. So it is also like election. Because the NLD after that there will be another election, 2010 election. So what will happen with the election again? So very uncertain sometimes about the political system, especially when the manager become up, all the international community will react, and there is a lot of before people are very under the military in the past, very clear that under the military rule, the people are very united. But now become like a civilian rule and but more divided.
Really?
More divided means different opinion, but divided means sometimes more religious.
They don't have the same target.
Yeah, not the same target. So it's become divided means like opinion about Arakan issue or religious issue, and then some of the religious problems.
Yeah.
So looking at also some people feel that the army trying to do also they try to away from the activists. Before they are all activist civilian, but when the civilian government comes on, because they see that before under the military people are united.
Yeah.
Now with the civilian, people start feeling that some people
continue
oppose the army. Some people, you are very hard line, you are very soft line, and then but people have more opportunity than before to talk about. But the problem is like people stay very poor. That means job opportunity very poor. So the young people we are losing young people like brain drain and living and so forth in the future.
But what do you think about the young people now?
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion about the young people?
What people?
Young people. Young.
What is this mean?
What is your opinion about young people? Yeah.
I concern about the youth because they need to see the role model, or they need to see their vision, their vision for the country or their role model is very important. Right now, we don't have. We have many good leaders.
Really?
In the community level, but in the political level, sometimes it is hard to see the political system, or because we have good leader, but the political system until now doesn't make people, the leader also have to collect a decision, because sometimes the political leader are also, we have many political organization, but the capacity of the political is not institutionalized yet. Each political leader very good,
together.
not collectively or institutional. So need a lot of, because we are under the oppression for many years, so that means they don't have that much voice before. So they know about the Burmese politics, but international politics or civil society empowerment or their role also, they need to identify more, and then need more collective leadership. So we don't feel that we don't have good leaders, but we don't have good collective leadership. So this is another challenge for change for Burma. But for the young people, they are struggling for their own. You see, like they're looking at different. You see the gap between rich and poor, and sometimes they see that some of the leaders they respect or the general they respect are doing wrong things, because the growing problems of like land grabbing or drugs or involved of the some leaders. So sometimes they be very upset about their future, and then they are all survivor livelihood. So many of them they become migrant workers or leave the country. So this is not good sign if the young people sadly more and more young people leaving the country. So I think young people many young people or the student when they become the student they are very united, but after school it's difficult for them because they are all survivors. So that's why the students are always in Burma. The students are always the first areas that demonstrate. But after that, it's difficult for them because they have their own lives.
Do you think for the young people now it's more easy to make a real demographic change in Burma than during your time? Do you think they now have more easy?
The young people learn more and more understanding about they should understand more about the diversity issue. Because for Burma issue, the rule of law is one area we really need to work on. And the second issue is the peace building. Peace means like to understand about the diversity issue, ethnic issue. So many years isolated. Even there are many ethnics are living in Myanmar, but they are also isolated. The rural ethnic. So the ethnic diversity issue and needs to be understand each other very well. So for the young people, they learn the history because all the history in the school until now, like refugees are like rebel or something. So the education system I think very important until now can't change the education system yet. So please hope that if the education like freedom because the education freedom and education reform is very important. The professionally, like the teachers union, need to be free, and then need to be like more like whenever you speak about the curriculum or language or in the school, because the ethnic people want to learn the ethnic language in their own school. So the respect or trust building is very important among the young people. So like respect and trust will start from the education system. Without any education system, I think it's still difficult because the young people learn from school. They start learn from like they stay in the school for 10 years, 15 years. So what do they learn in the class? Discrimination or diversity or ethnic or even like environment, what do they learn about the environment? But the changing environment now, they should learn. And they need to learn about the neighbor Thailand. But in the curriculum saying about the Thailand is not properly. So but this feels mean like education is the key for peace building. But the teacher education, the student education, all this if the education is stay under the military, it is very hard.
On a personal level, we know your problems now with the government of Burma, but you would like to return to Burma to make your life there, or you are now in Thailand?
For me, whether I live Burma or Thailand or actually my hometown is in Myanmar, but my parents passed away, and my parents come from ALD, but I've been there only once. So for me and for the children, home is like where is your friend and where is your neighbor and who are your community. But it is very nice for us for the children to see how because Burma is a very beautiful country and it's very wonderful. rich in resources, and at the same time, we want the young people or children to respect the culture, environment, diversity. So when they travel a lot or we travel, we can hear from the people.
Yeah. 30 years have passed. New medical facilities, more means, new talent. What do you feel when you look at the past? Are you proud?
Actually, for me, I learn from it. I feel that I learn and I can give back whatever I can give back to the world or to the young people. I will try to give what I learn more because we see that many young women teachers they commit a lot, and then we talk to the ordinary people. We are always meeting with the grassroots level people and even our staff. They come from the area where the conflict is. So we learn the story and to share the concern. So this story and the concern from individual it become the strength for the movement. So that's why for the young people, listening to the people is very important. And then listening from the people and learning from the people, and you can grow from there. Because sometimes you can just see the ordinary women, children, but they have different skills, different ideas. So we have to respect. So we have to help the young people to respect each other. So what we can give them is listening and what can you give back to the people.
Do you see yourself with enough strength to continue fighting?
Because we stand with the people who be opposed or oppressed, who be oppressed by the military. We stand for that.
Do you feel satisfied with your work done?
Actually, we can say yes because we choose to be this. We choose to work on that. This is our choice. So we like that way, but sometimes it is very frustrating because we will see that the environment we work with or there are some things you cannot. It's beyond your scope, some area, but you have to raise your voice because people have different capacity. Some people they can raise their voice easily. Some people you have to stand for them.
How do you see the next 30 years?
Actually, 30 years ago, we said that we want more like people to be free, fair, justice, peace. So we will continue doing all that.
What medical cases have marked as you as a person? Which medical cases make you hurt?
I think for medical, actually we have different methods. Some are genetic, some are infection, some are like the reproductive health or whatever. But I think for the cases, you're not looking at people as the disease. You're looking at the people as the individual person. Because you're looking at as a disease, sometimes difficult just to diagnose and treat or you can't treat or not. But you're looking at as a person, whatever disease is. they have their own social background, social like determinants on health. Like for example, you say the man with the TB, but the patient attendant is the girl, the young kids. So she has to leave the school because of the father sick. So you have to look at the whole family. When you see the patient, you can't just look at the disease. You have to look at the family structure. And then sometimes you can see mother with a pregnant woman, and she comes to the clinic or hospital very late and she died. It is very sad for her, but you may see that there are many children become motherless, no mother. And sometimes the father cannot take care, so the children have to live with the other family member. So you have to look at that not as a disease, as a family unit or a community. If somebody died or somebody is sick, what will affect to the whole family or the community.
How do you see the future of the refugee camps like Myla?
For refugee camp, we feel very sad that the children who grow up, the elder people, they want to go back home, but there is no land because the land already been here. So they're very sad for their future. But it's sad for their young children because how our children will be growing up. For the children also, they never been, some of them did not been there. So they are not Thai, they are not Burmese, and their education is not
Not good.
accredited by the country. So there should be a system for them when they return home safely and dignity, meaning like citizenship, education, accreditation, job opportunity, human rights. So this all need to be well prepared and more transparently consult with the community. We haven't seen that yet. So it is very sad that sometimes the government or the ACR international want to push because they're too tired to support this process, but not really empower. It will not really empower them. And it is very stressful for the young people. And if they don't feel that they are safe or they are secure or dignity, so they will not see the bad system, and then they will, if they cannot cope with that, you can see other like consequences like sometimes oppress, depress, and you can see drugs, growing drugs. So I think this is a responsibility of the two government to work on that. To see people as a dignity, as human rights.
What is your opinion about the new generations to continue your legacy? Is there motivation? You see motivation in the job?
The young people?
Yeah.
We cannot, it's difficult to say like by percentage or something, how many percentage, but young people today are more access to information and we can do the social network. And sometimes, maybe 5 years, 10 years, they will, because if they can access more information than before, they can do more network than before. They have to choose or they will decide their own career as well as for the community. Because for us, they have to be more open-minded. Because the young people in Burma used to grow up in the system. It's like that.
And they cannot.
Yeah, they can. Now they're more open, so they have more opportunity or option. You can think about like to work as migrant worker or to work and to live, or they will choose their career, but it needs support environment. If they are guided or with more support environment, So we want to see like more government to take like the youth policy. What is the youth policy? Youth choosing as a for what? As the future of the youth. So we need to have a strong youth policy from some organization or from government or yeah.
You know, you're important person for the Burmese people. You know, the importance you have within the Burmese community and the admiration they feel with you. You know the admiration that the Burmese people feel for you. Are you know it?
Probably, I think different opinion. No? Some people will see us as like a medical doctor, humanitarian workers, but some people will feel that we are opposed or fighting the oppression or against the militarization. So generally, for me, I feel that they see people me as like one of the women leaders. Because in the healthcare world, you can see more women than men.
Really?
Well, maybe 20 years ago when we started, like 30 years ago when I started running to the border, the healthcare work is done mostly by men because in the army, the military activity during the time. But when we start addressing about women health and midwifery and so more women participate. And then also when we start looking at in the community level, so to promote women health or children health, more women are involved. So we are not like I mean like women leader mean not as a the leading the organization or not looking at that way. So to promote women health and women rights and to make women to engage or participate more space for women. So that means women rights being hard, especially in terms of people. Women health people not pay much attention before. You see area, work facility, career, or sick people, but actually women health is the whole family health. As I mentioned, if women sick or child sick, who are the main carer or also to promote the women health, and the women need to engage and participate. So through the healthcare work, women be empowered, women be engaged with the community work and become the leadership. Because if they become the health worker, health worker is in the middle area, like one of the leader to look at. So through our health care work, women become getting more space and more empowered.
We have read that sometimes they call you a mother. What do you feel about that?
Because when we do healthcare work, we have to talk about the motherhood, child care, family planning, or mother issue, woman issue, mother issue. So this we need to continue. Okay, that never ended.
Okay, we are finished, okay? Do you think that being such an extensive conflict over time has lost its initial importance for the international community? Do you think the problem now here is losing the importance for the international community because past 30 years Do you think?
International community.
Yeah, that the international community don't put enough attention here
Um,
because they said maybe, oh, 30 years, we don't care now.
I think in the world it is a lot of like more competition on the economic competition. So the human right is still people try to protect human rights, but more importantly become like economic compete, compete, competing each other. It is I don't know, but for the sharing the resources, what does this mean for that? How to protect the environment or sharing resources for the future generation? Uh, I think some people fighting a lot, but I'm not sure sharing mean like knowledge or resources or like justice or so sometimes people go much on the economic development. Sometimes they lose something for the humanity. So have to balance. Each country, I think, have to balance. But I feel that sometimes many countries
No, at this time, feel
balancing the humanity and
it's more important than always money
yeah.
than humanity. It's not only in Thailand, I think in Spain too. An important question. When it comes to making a generous donation, what is the most important thing that donors should understand? I mean, that sometimes it seems to be more important to able to observe the results of the name of the donator than the most important things of the clinic. What they should understand, the donators. Because maybe it's not that important you have to see your name.
For us, for general donation, we go with a specific project. But the whole clinic, like what is the outcome, or what is the activity, or what is the progress, we can share this information. But if sometimes the general donation, they want to be specific on like maternal health or maybe children education or even some people want to more focus on family planning or so they choose to do that specifically. So in this case, we have to follow all this agreement. But if there is no like agreement like that, we can give the whole clinic picture. Like we have the annual report, or if they need to know specific information on like training in the organization or training in the program or what is the progress, we can give this info. Or sometimes we want to donate that much amount of money. So what will be the priority? So we have to discuss among ourselves. We have to prioritize this area or some equipment or because some donation they want to be very specific. So we have to be to understand. But some of them like they donate individually, they donate monthly $5, $10, and then end of the year we have so all the general donation we
Excuse me.
What is your opinion about all of these people that leave the countries and come here to help in this project? Maybe like we know a Korean guy, he came a few years ago, he's staying here 8 months only to help here. What is your opinion about these people?
Firstly, I think they feel that they belong to the community, firstly. And then the second thing is they can learn from the community wherever, and that it is part of their career. Mostly. They can use a lot of knowledge, experience they get here, and they can do better things in other places. Because if they move to other place, they learn here a lot. They can share it to others. They can advocate or they can share their knowledge within here or they can advocate others. At the same time, I think the people who come here, they feel that they also belong to the community or they have some responsibility to do this for the vulnerable people or for the local community organization.
You have traveled, you know, say, what catch your attention of Western world?
I went to Spain and what I learned to, because like for the system, like social welfare system, it is much like advanced or better than our situation because we are in the war. But we learned that you also have the same under the military dictatorship. Until now, some poor people stay traumatized. At the same time, I heard that you have different ethnic groups. Also, they fighting for self-determination. But I don't know all the politics behind. Because some Korean and Burmese politics or Catalonian and Spain politics, I don't know all. But everywhere in the world, people are fighting for their identity, culture, and like self-determination. But how people can compromise or negotiate or give equal opportunity or to build a justice in one country or one community. Without that, we will never have peace. So I think have to compromise. But the social welfare is the basic human rights like access to health, education, and if you get elderly people, you get much better. You see like social benefit. You can see many things, but the other thing is another level is the political, like social, cultural, political rights. How much you can balance between equal and justice, and also like aggressive or so. I think it's more political, like a negotiation and compromising. So that's why I think education system is very important. While you are in the school, what do you learn? How do you learn about with your friends or your colleagues, or how do you compromise if you want to play football or you want to go picnic or what do you want to do? And then how do you think about the equal women, men, and if you study together in one classroom with different ethnic, how do you behave, or in the classroom how people learn about the diversity or equal and justice and peace. And so we can see everywhere in the world like the same, but how the education system promote like justice and peace.
Yeah. The last question. You received the international award in 2008, granted by the Generalitat of Catalunya, together with Aung San Suu Kyi. Are you up to date with the current situation now? Do you know about the situation in Catalonia now?
Yeah, I watched in the television, but not much detail in the more political. Um, what is the real political today? But there is going on like Catalonia, one
Must be a different country.
yeah, the country. So what is different with Ukraine or what is different from the other like Italian country? I heard that also Italian country they have the other ethnic group. They want to get the like more self-determination, but how do they compromise each other? So for me, I follow, but I don't